Sorry you won't be able to see much because I don't know why it's not recording full screen. It's like it's recording a certain section of the screen. I don't understand why the software I'm using is acting up, and I have to figure out how to fix that later on. But for now, you know, this is the best I can do. This is some footage of me playing the game. So this is my cooler mill control deck. Somebody requested that I show some gameplay, and of course, as always, someone always challenges the capabilities of the deck, or my decks in general. So sucks that there's so much important details missing. You can't see my hand, you know, you can't see my deck, and you know this is a mill deck, so it's important to be able to see my opponent's deck, you know, how much cards left in their deck, how many cards left in my deck. So these certain important details you won't be able to get to see because I really don't get why it's not, software is not working properly. I have to go look up a YouTube video and figure it out, or use a totally different software to do these recordings on this, because this is a new laptop, and that's what really annoys me. It's like it's a new laptop, and it's like, you know, the quality is the video quality is lower. I'm having trouble with installing higher quality video driver, so like the quality is low. Maybe it's just low for me, but it will actually be higher quality on like YouTube or something. Anyway, so turn 1, you want to charge a multicolor energy. I tend to you know, I'll charge any of the coolers. I don't need to use them more than once anyway, so they're always option. Ironically, the main 5-drop that I like to use on the deck is full power, you know, 100% full power Frieza, because he's the one that gets you the most mills, and he is a board wipe. So I always try to keep him, because obviously I want to play him, wipe my opponent's board, and mill them in the process. As you can see, I got my little Gowasu tech, which somebody acknowledges later on, which I appreciate, you know, them acknowledging it, because it's like, yeah, it's a good card. You know, it, especially, you know, when I do get stuff to synergize with it. For example, obviously I can make it work better. In this build I don't have it, but now I'm like, oh man, I wish I had it, because it would have been so much fun, and the synergy. It's the 1-drop Frieza, Frieza's Embrace or something like that. The 1-drop Frieza would perfect synergy with this 1-drop Gowasu. Plus, it's a good card in general. Like, it works obviously really good with the leader, because you can trigger its effect on your turn, your opponent's turn. You know, you just get a lot of synergy. And on the front side, your drawing ability from making your opponent by minusing your opponent's battle cards is you know, is on the front side during your opponent's turn, and I want it during my turn. I'm trying to think what happened there. If I'm right, that's a mistake, because I'm not allowed to use the counterplay, the minus ability on what's being played. It has to be on stuff that's already in play, right? Oh no, because this was being played on this 8-drop, so I was able to hit the one on, because in the chat area he was explaining that I can do it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I'm gonna get that free mill, and I made my token. He uses his ability, because he turned Gowasu into a skills by negating his skills, so he was able to get rid of it. He put in that to rest mode with the leader's ability. He's swinging again with double strike. Can't stop it, because right now I have blue energy. That's an important detail right there. Make sure first energy mono color, all the energy after that mono red, because I really fucked up when I played that mono blue. It's only because it was an extra Guasu. It's like, yeah, I don't need the extra Guasu, so I was just charging his energy instead of charging something else. But forgot there's like, no, I'm supposed to charge mono red, because this deck leans heavy towards red, and I definitely needed, later on you'll see that I definitely needed mono red. Like for example, right now is the turn that I want to play my 4-drop card, 4-drop Unison, my Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks Interdimensional Warrior, but he requires 4 specified red, and I only have 3 red, so I couldn't drop him this turn when I was hoping to, so that really ruined that plan. So I'm just like, you know, swinging and doing stuff and just trying to get some negates out the way just in case I have to deal with that later. You see I played the Vegeta this turn just so I can get rid of those cards now because they've already been minus, plus get some mills out of it. I could have saved it, right, and did it on my opponent's turn. And probably get some more mills, because all we have to wait for him to have play another battle card, then minus 20k to all his stuff, and then get the power boost. So much more stuff that would have been nicer to do, but I decided to get rid of it now while it was already weak, because it guarantees at least it kills it. And you see, just on my hand, so you saw I have really good stuff. I could have done an arrival play, so many options. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just clear the board. I'm just trying to last for one more turn. I'm just trying to get to turn 5. Because currently right now I have 4 life. So if I have any of those testing the oppositions, you know, I can survive. Especially if I have 2 testing oppositions, I can stop, you know, up to 4 potential attacks. So right there, it took hit. Right there, I think I'm taking another hit. Right. I'll take 2 hits, so I'm down to 1. And I think that's the end of the game. I think, yeah, I don't make it to the next turn. So if I'm, yeah, because I didn't have enough cards in my hands to out combo. I was 5k short, because you know, of course, I had some unisons. Like I said, if I was able to drop my 4-drop card, it would have been a different story. Or if I waited until it's his turn to play Vegeta, and then, you know, minus his board and get a whole bunch of mills, plus be able to survive that turn, so I could get to turn 5 and get my turn 5 play. You know, misplays happens. So the lesson learned. So just showing you what not to do. What the hell was that? To show you what not to do. So make sure you charge red, blue, multicolor turn 1, and then mono red after that. Your goal is to get to turn 5, so you want to stall as much as possible until you get to turn 5. That's where you get to play, you know, your bigger toys and be able to do a lot of stuff and be able to combine cards. Because you definitely want to be able to play 3 energy. You want to be able to pay. One of the plays I like to do is pay 2 energy to bring out Oceanus, and then pay 3 energy for what's his name? Vegeta. You know, exploiting weakness, so that way I can trigger Oceanus and have Oceanus's effect up and running. Plus have a blocker, plus the 5k boost to my lead, plus minus 20k to all my opponent's battle cards, get a whole bunch of mills out of it, and drastically reduce my opponent's ability to attack. And if they do try to attack, they're more likely going to, in order to hit me, they're going to have to combo, which means they're losing hand advantage, and then they're milling. So it's just, I like the idea of combining those 2 cards in the same turn, because I get so much blanket advantage in that situation. I get to hurt my opponent's deck, and I get to hurt their hand if they attack. If they don't attack, hey, for 5 energy I got an extra turn, right? Can't hate that, especially if the goal is to, you know, try to last longer, you know, beyond turn 4, right? You always want to go beyond turn 4. I will be making a new version of this deck, an upgraded version, because I want a version that's a lot more defensive. This one is a little more attack base, but I want you know, it has a lot of outs and stuff, so not a bad deck. You know, obviously you can, I'll say this deck is a little bit more anti-meta, as it were, you know, with all the hate cards in it. But I want to make a version that's a little bit more defensive, does more on my opponent's turn, less on my turn, or at least a combination of both, right, where I do something on my turn but still do something on my opponent's turn. Because right now, you know, obviously I could, if I play Beerus, which I will be using Beerus in the next version, because of the fact that, you know, I want if I'm not going to throw in Senzu Bean to be able to untap my energy on my opponent's turn, so I can make those Yugioh plays. Definitely gotta minus my opponent's board, and then get the mills on top of it. Minus mill. Especially if they go wide is even better. I want them to go wide. I want them to have like 5 or more battle cards, so that way I can just, and hopefully they're 20k or less. That way, not only do I minus them and get mill, you know, mill my opponent for 5 cards, but also wipe the board in the process. I don't necessarily want them to keep the battle cards, right? But it depends. I might want to keep them there. Depends on the situation. If I can back to back turn by turn Vegeta. Was this? Yeah, I forgot about this duel. This duel didn't last that long. I think he said he had to go, so we did get to finish that duel. Nathan Hyote. His name looked familiar, but I think I was thinking of like another Nathan, like a Nathan Royce or something. I played against a couple Nathans on Untap before, so that's why like the name looking familiar. I was like, have I played this person before? Probably not. It depends. And the funny thing is, prior to this duel, I saw a deck profile of this. I think it was on Team Foe's web page. You notice I charge, because I know not much is going to happen for a couple turns, so I charge another multicolor, as opposed to charging, you know, a mono red. And you see here I am trying to prevent him from getting access to that, or at least slow him down from getting access to that, and turning Android 17 turning the tide, because we know that's the main thing, and we don't want him to have that, because I definitely need my hand to be thick, so that will be a problem. So he charges one of his dimension magics. He more likely drew the dimension magic. See, because right now what I want in the new version, I'm going to add the Frieza's Embrace, because right now I will have the strategy, the combo. I mean, I still need my opponent to have battle cards. If you pay attention, you notice my opponent is deliberately trying not to play any battle cards. So you see, I'm going to go look in his hand. I'm going to see what he's doing, seeing if he has threats already. See, he has an Android 17 already in his hands. Like, damn it. He also had Hachiax, so I'm aware of that. And of course, I had to get rid of his Gohan. The only thing I actually can hit with that, so it's like, all right, good. I know what's in his hand. I know what the game plan is, because I already know this build. So, like I said, I saw a deck profile of it, so it's like, yeah, this more likely is based off of that specific profile. So, not too surprised. See, I did notice that he actually charged his Android 17 originally. So later on, so I'm playing with the idea that he's going to ramp to 7 and he's going to drop Android 17 and take advantage of the fact that, you know, he's that I'm top decking, and you know that's a bad thing for me. But it turns out he actually charged it, so he has no plans to use it anytime soon. Which was strange. He should have kept it since he literally is ramping up to it. He should have kept it. So here I go. Oh yeah, it was Nathan who acknowledged the my tech card. See, no no Bojack for you. So definitely trying to make it hard for him to get to that Bojack. So I got my Unison up in line. Obviously the mighty Jiren, he's a really good floodgate. What will make him extra awesome is if I had him and the one drop Frieza together, so that way they, you know, I can combine them, because then I can minus 20k, 30k, 40k from shit, you know what I mean? I could just get more out of it. It just, there was a couple times where it was like, ah man, I want to use the minus ability. It's smart for him to just rely on his on the Unison and the leader, because my minusing abilities and mill only applies when he has battle cards, logically, right? But see right here, he has 7. So I actually commented, "Oh, time for the tide," and he was like, "Nah, I don't have it." I was like, "How do you not have it? I saw it in your hand earlier." And it's like, "Oh, because I see it in his energy area." Like, "Oh, you charged it. I didn't notice you charged it." Like, why would you charge that? That's a good card. The funny thing is, I'm trying to prevent you from having the card, and then you charge it. Like, thanks for making my job easier. Like, I'm trying to prevent you from having that card. So you're charging the Bojacks. Obviously, those are gonna matter later on. So I'm trying to get to turn 5. Obviously, the usual. That is always the goal, to get to turn 5, which I do manage to get to turn 5. I hate that you can't see his deck. I don't know how many cards he has left in there. I played this because it would trigger my leader's ability. You know, it's a level of lag, which sucks. Yeah, you notice that I forgot what I was supposed to have done was play. Obviously, what you want to do is play. Either way, I have to see. Like I keep trying to prevent him from getting that Android 17. See what would happen? Supposed to happen is I'm supposed to play Kawasu's effect first, and then I'm supposed to do Goku's effect, so I can mill. Because I would have deliberately put Android 17 on top of his deck and then milled it through to that combo. So that's the thing. It's like I'm supposed to be comboing certain effects, but I misplayed that. I forgot to do Kawasu first. It's like one of the first things you need to do every turn is Kawasu, and then start making your plays. Especially if you're gonna minus things, you're gonna start milling your opponent. You want Kawasu to manipulate your opponent's deck, so that way your mills will be stronger. And then being able to have more than one Guasu, because the first Guasu, you'll manipulate your opponent's deck, then you'll do a minus effect to make your opponent mill, then use your second Guasu's effect to manipulate your opponent's deck, and then hopefully mill them again through another effect. That's why he has great synergy with the one drop Frieza Embrace, because Frieza's Embrace can be used multiple times, so you can get multiple mills. Obviously. Here's where I drop this bad boy, start minusing. Since he played that, I did the minus with that, so minus 30k. Because I did Jiren plus that, so I got 2 mills off of that. Hopefully, I barely was paying attention if my opponent was milling properly. And there is Android 17. He was able to do it. But it's hard to say, was that the Android 17 that originally put 3rd on the top of his deck from Kawasu's ability? I don't know. Because he would have drew for his turn, he would attack with, if he attacked with leader, he would have drew from, he probably had, the Unison probably draws, so he would have drew for the Unison. So if he attacked with leader, he would have drew, and the next card would be Android 17. I wouldn't be surprised if that's Android 17 in his hands right now. The high probability that that's Android 17 in his hand right now. Yo, that's hilarious. If this worked out the way I think it is, that's Android 17. Which, if I dig Wasu and my Kaioken Goku's effect properly, he would have milled that. That's the way it was supposed to be played, but I misplayed it. Because I was too focused on his board that I forgot to utilize the effects on my board. Ironically, I don't like Yamcha's personally. Part of why I want to remake the deck. Because I just put Yamcha just because of what he can do. And you know, you can play him for free with the unisons, and you definitely take advantage of the unisons. So this deck is definitely heavily focused on unisons as like our main way of triggering the leader's effect. So that's why Yamcha, obviously, I mean, I've been using it well, but not really a fan of it. Later on, I started making a habit of charging it because it's not really my playstyle. I prefer counterattacks, not counterplays. Unless it's Vegeta. Vegeta always works great for me. It's one of the best counterplays. I've never had an issue playing that card. But freaking Yamcha. Part of it is because Yamcha doesn't affect the card that's being played. So that's part of why I don't like it that much. Because the only target I would have liked was the leader. Plus the minus ability, you know, since it's part of its counter, it won't trigger my leader's drawing ability, which, you know, sucks. That destroys the purpose of using the card, because I want to minus the on my opponent's turn so I can draw when I'm on the front side. When I'm on the back side, minusing on my turn is better. But you always want to do minusing effects on your opponent's turn because it just slows them down, right? It makes it hard for them to attack you with big, strong battle cards because you're weakening them. So all your main play is supposed to be doing your opponent's turn. So, you know, that obviousness is like you play this deck a lot like the baby deck. You're kind of playing it like a counterplay deck, like a, you know, a counter deck, like a control deck, right? You know, countering things left and right, making all your plays on your opponent's turn. Because this deck is multi-fire, it wouldn't be a bad idea to use Kaioken Goku, the 3-drop counterplay one. That one does minus effect, and I think it does something else. Does it draw? No, I think the blue card is the one that draws. Oh, it's the blue one. No, the blue one taps energy. I think red is the one that draws. No, red minuses twice. That's what it was. Red minuses twice. It does a minus of it does 2 minus effects. Anyway, and of course you can make it cost only 2, but whatever. We shall see. I definitely was having fun. You see, you know, I'm doing my best to showcase every card, the things you can do with them. You know, for example, this is the end of the match. So he won with his double strike Bojack. I had like 3 or 4 cards in my hands. I couldn't out combo because I think they were like unisons and overpowered Frieza. Alright, so that was that stuff. Oop, there we go. This is against Metal Cooler. Definitely inspired me to want to upgrade my cooler deck. Seeing this version in action, so I definitely will be tweaking my cooler deck. I'm making a deck profile of it soon enough. But before that, make the newer cooler, because I definitely want Topos. Topos are so good. if you want some topos. Beerus, gonna be using the Beerus super combo. Taking out the Violent Rays, taking out the, what's his name? The Yamchaos. Because it's not really my style. Plus the other thing is it also has a restriction. Once you use it, you can't play other counter plays. I'm like, oh, okay, this thing is giving me more and more reasons to not play it. Not play it. It's a decent card. I like it better in Boma because it becomes a blocker on top of what it does. So I like it in Boma, but don't really like it in this deck. So. Let's see. So I was able to get Jiren online, so that's really awesome. Definitely want to get Jiren online, because remember, you want to do a lot of your negging and mill effects on your opponent's turn, because that gives you the control. You want to control your opponent's board. You want to mill them, of course, because milling is your main win con. And that's the other thing. I was mainly trying to focus on milling, so I was like so I didn't focus on doing a lot of damage. One, I was trying to prevent myself from doing a lot of damage to my opponent's leader. One, because it's counterproductive, because my opponent's benefiting from me dealing their leader damage, which means they're adding cards to hand, which means it's giving them stuff to play that's making it harder for me to have control. Especially the idea is I'm trying to do the mill control aspect, so that way they can't draw anything good. It would be stupid for me to attack their life and give them something good through attacking their life. So the idea is to make their hands useless after a couple turns by manipulating their deck and milling. So that's the whole idea. Is I want to combine the effects of Gawasu with the effects of. So I was able to finally play because I think in the first two duels I had this in my hand. When I had that Gawasu in my energy area, this is the card I was trying to play, the Super Saiyan 3 Gold Hanks, and that would have made a huge difference. I would have won that, but I wasn't able to get it out and get the advantage that I wanted then. Here I was able to play it out. I got a good amount of mills out of it, because his ability minuses 25k to all my opponent's battle cards, so it has synergy with the leader, plus its defensive capabilities, because one, it's a blocker, two, it can minus 25k from a battle card by gaining a marker. So and it's a dual attack, so obviously I was able to attack with it and then put it back into active mode so I can use it as a blocker. But you're gonna see how funny this is. I realized that one, you notice I have 7 life, so I couldn't, and I'm tapped out, so I couldn't play that testing out position. So it's like, so he does his little thing, he attacks with the leader and stuff like that to knock markers off. What's so funny is that he ends up, this unison does more. We all know I'm just trying to get to turn 5, which is why I played the unison, so I can try to survive to turn 5. But he made it so much easy for me because he just mainly focused on my unison. So of course I use my unison's ability, I trigger my leader's ability, I get to draw a card because I did minus a battle card for my opponent's turn, and he mills, of course, because of that, and now he's swinging with that, getting some more cards, cards online, and he's comboing. So you see I'm losing markers, so he's swinging again, getting 2 more. It's like, this is my favorite part, because like I love all this spam, and I'm thinking I got like 4 cards in my hands or something like that, and it's like, he's wasting so much on the leader. He was able to go wide. He should have just went on my leader, not my unison. But he really was hung up on trying to get rid of the unison. And it's like, okay, not realizing that he set himself up to lose because it's like you established a big board, but you didn't, come at my life. Like I have 7 life. You should have just went for it. you would have been able to do 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like 6-ish. You would have been close. You would let's say at most you could have done 4 damage. You had the potential to do 4 damage. I would have been at 3 life right now because my opponent is currently at 3. Remember, I'm not even trying to attack my opponent like that, right? I'm focused on his deck more because that's the whole goal. Is I'm trying to showcase the deck's milling capabilities and how you can obviously win through milling. So he's doing some stuff. I was able to clear his board. That freezer right there has deflect, so obviously it's immune. But I was able to get rid of everything else. I took the damage. He ends his turn. Boom, boom, boom. But of course I had like some type of defense. I think I had a testing the opposition or something in my hand, and I did have 2 energies to play, but I didn't want to waste it, right there and then. Oh, that's what it was. I didn't, because his 5-drop Frieza has a effect that triggers when your opponent plays a counter attack. So I was trying not to play it to counter attack. That's why. So I do have a testing opposition. I just didn't use it. We all know I did because earlier I tried to use it and I had 7 life, so I couldn't use it. So we know I have a testing opposition. It's just that, since he has that Frieza, I didn't want to take that risk. So here, as you can see, I do the minus ability, so I can weaken that. Trigger my leader's ability, so I get to draw. He mills. I think he's like at 18. No, he's less than. No, he's 9 cards now. I know that for sure. He's 9 right now because he had 10, so he's at 9 right now. If I'm right, he has 9 cards right now. Where is it now? He has 9 cards. So what was it? He had 11 cards, and now he went to 10. And then when Frieza went, he's down to 9. Or he's at 4 now. So he does that. I do this, the counter play. Bang bang. So he mills for those 2. He brings this back. Yeah. That technically wasn't supposed to really happen because he was supposed to mill 2 cards first, then do that. But if I'm right, he only had 4 cards left in his deck, and then he attacked. I think what it was, yeah, he had 8. He drew a card, so he would be at 7. He mills twice, so he'd be at 5. He milled 1 more time for something, I think, so that way he's down to 4. So when he attacks, Oceanus's effect will trigger, making him mill 4, because I did play a card right after I played Oceanus, which was the Vegeta play. So you get to see the Oceanus Vegeta combo that I was talking about. So it's my favorite combo. I like it's one of the key combos. So at least you get to see it in action. One of the key combos in the deck is to play those. That way you have a blanket board effect, get a lot of mills all in one shot, as well as, especially if your opponent goes wide, you definitely want to play that off, play that strategy off, and just boom, neg their board, strengthen your leaders, power, set your, make your opponent mill, draw, obviously, from the leader's effect, and then of course set it up where if your opponent does attack, it's 4 cards per attack. So either you get an extra turn because they don't want to mill themselves out, or I think my opponent deliberately attacked because it felt like there's no way he didn't know. If he attacked, he loses. So I felt like he did it on purpose. Like he was well aware of what I was trying to do, and then he even asked me if I'm Card Games TV1, from YouTube and stuff. I was like, yes I am. So that was cool. I think it was him, right? Or was that Nathan that said that? And this guy was just asking if I want to play again. I think it was Nathan who asked if I was card game CB1, and this guy asked me if I wanted to play again, but I actually have to go and do my work. So I'm obviously I play at work. So right now I'm making content at work during my free time. So definitely couldn't. But let's go back. Let's check out that again for those who want to see the plays. There I played my unison, so I minus it. Because I tap 2 energy for my unison. I awaken my leader so I can untap, so I can be back to 5 energy. So I have 5 energy, and I have a 5-drop cooler in my hand. You can see the cooler in the energy area. He's the first energy I charged. He was the multicolor energy I charged. But I have a copy of him in my hand. I was debating of using it or not. Like, should I play it or not? And I decided not to. And it's like, all right. I'll do the Oceanus play since I have the 5 energies. Like, pay 2 to play this, then drop that bad boy for 3 energy. Why isn't my energy tapped? Okay. I think that's what it was, that that I was going to tap the energy, but he started attacking and stuff like that, and that's why I was like, yeah, it feels like he knows he was gonna lose, he was gonna mill himself out, and he didn't have much else to do. So I already had the advantage right there. So he's like, I'll take it, take the L. So it's the end of the video.